Yo, what's up? It's the one and only Hip Hop Gamer Hot 97 F1. F1 2016. Now, to be honest, I fell off from this particular series, but I got somebody here that showed me something, that told me a lot, that's, well, basically brought me back to the series, man. What's going on? First off, let them know who you are, what you do, and the new things about F1 2016 and what can fans expect coming August 19th.
Okay, so I'm Lee Mather. I'm the principal game designer on F1 2016, as you can see behind us here. And this year the big new thing is really the career mode. You know, we brought 2015 out last year, was the first game on this generation of console. Yeah. And we took in a load of feedback from the fans this year, and the thing they really wanted was a really deep, rich, immersive career mode, and that's what we've implemented this year.
All right, now the first thing I want to ask you is, after playing the game, my first impressions with the steering wheel and stuff like that, you talked about a lot of things, but there's one thing you didn't mention, and that was VR. That was virtual reality. And after looking at this game, seeing what it has in it, how deeply analytical you guys went with it, why no VR? What's going on? Or is that a part of the plans you can't talk about? Like, let me know. What are your thoughts on it?
So we wanted to build, like I say, the really biggest career we've ever had in one of our Formula One games. So, you know, we wanted the player to have their avatar in there, to create, you know, their own avatar. We wanted them to have their own helmet design. We wanted the formation lap, the safety car. We wanted the interactive race starts, the 22-player multiplayer. You know, there were so many things we wanted to work on this year. That, you know, we've put so much into this game. You know, that was our real focus for 2016.
All right, cool, because I was hoping to see that VR. Yo, after seeing it, I was like, yo, VR with that ring? And that, yo, that would have been crazy. Now, one of the things that I want to ask you is, any game, but when it comes to something like F1 in particular, balance. Like, from a gameplay standpoint, what was the goal with this one this year in terms of making sure that nothing is too overpowered? Like, you got, like, the Mercedes is like the best car in the game. They could do this. Then you got some teams that's not as good as the Mercedes team, but there's still ways to bring them up and make them rise. Talk about the balance in gameplay and how the game reacts to the way you play.
Yeah, so what we wanted to do in the career mode was allow the player to straight away pick any team they want. I think that's important in a Formula One game because people have fans, you know, there's teams they really do want to drive for, but we still want to challenge the player. So as you say, you know, you pick the Mercedes and straight away your team objectives are win races, get pole position, you know, be the best. If you pick one of the slower teams, the objectives are very more realistic to that team. So it'll be, you know, work on developing the car, get your upgrades, maybe get us a couple of points, you know, but play the long game. Look 3 or 4 seasons before you might be world champion, or even look for a career, look for a contract and move to a different team. You know, maybe that you start with one team and you want to move to a different team later on. So there's different ways to play the game, but we always balance the challenge so that it's realistic for the team that you've chosen.
Now, do y'all have like recommended settings? And what I mean by that is like being able to upgrade and do all these other things for someone that's not as seasoned in the actual game, that don't know everything, or they may not understand how the car parts work, like, and all this other stuff. Do you still have like the opportunity where if they don't know and don't want to learn, they can at least have a recommended setting where, like, from the expertise of y'all can provide recommended settings for the end user? Do you have that in the game? If so, how does that work?
Yeah, so there's multiple ways that we try and make the game accessible to as many people as possible. So I mean, from an on-track experience, we've got all the assists that you can turn on, so that makes the car controllable for anybody of any level. And then there's presets as well, so they're recommended settings for the style of player you are. But then also, if you want to play the career mode, we want to let people understand the world of Formula One. You know, we wanted to introduce them to it gradually. So there's 2 characters in the game. There's an agent and there's an R&D guy, and they will slowly introduce you to how things work. So you'll learn about the research and development. You'll learn about how, you know, you facilitate a new contract move, or, you know, for example, if you're not performing, you'll be informed as to how you're doing, as to whether you may lose your position within a team, for example. But all of these things are fed to you in a more personal way through characters.
Now there's a 10-year career that you have in this game. So, like, throughout all those years, what's some of the things that we'll see? First of all, like, how you progress through year 1, and what's the difference with year 2, and what will we see in year 5? Like, you know, how does the game move because of the year span you have career-wise?
Yeah, so I think that there's different things that can happen. So obviously, if I choose one of the lower teams, I'm spending a lot of my time in this career building up the team to become, you know, a championship-winning team. Right. But in Formula One, one of the big things is a development race between teams. So at the moment, Mercedes are at the top, but that's not to say that Red Bull won't develop their car and start to move up above them maybe later in the season. And that's something that we'll see, the development race. So you'll see teams moving around. So at the start of the game, the structure's very much as it is in the sport right now. But as you progress, that order will change and move around. So, you know, it's a much more active experience.
Now, with the multiplayer, right, you said it's 22 players online. Now, here's something I want to ask you, because we was talking about this off camera. And F1 is a very, very, it's a conflicting sport, because you're on the same team, but you got to beat your teammate too. And that's crazy. That's like playing basketball, and we're on the same team, but I'm trying to get more stats than you, so I may have to sacrifice. Like, it's crazy. So what I want to ask you is, can me, like, let's say me and you was on the same team, but can we race against each other in multiplayer as well if we're on the same team? Like, you do that?
It's how it works in the sport.
Oh, that's good. Wait, hold on. Y'all hold the belt. Y'all hold the belt on that one. Y'all hold the belt. That's crazy. So that's crazy. Go ahead.
Yes, I mean, obviously you look at the sport today, and, you know, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg are teammates.
Yeah.
And the team want them to win for the team. They want to take the Constructors' Championship. But as individuals, they want to win. You know, as a human being, you naturally want to win. You want to beat your competitor. So, you know, there's always that balance. Right. So if you're doing a championship online with your friends, you know, you might want to win the Constructors' title, but you still also might want to beat me, for example, if we're racing together as part of the same team. Wow. You know, it's like, do you help the person? Do you hinder the person? You know, it's like you got to. Yeah, do you play the team game?
Do you play the team game or not? Yo, this remind me of that movie Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell and I can't think of the other dude, but it reminds me of that. Like that's crazy. So I got a few more questions. I'll let you go. What's one of the first racing games you ever played, like, in your life that you reminisce on? And also, what's some of the racing games you've came across throughout your game of life that you was able to take from and implement it in your F1 series?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many racing games over the years that I've played.
No, man, I mean, imagine.
I go back to, I mean, this is crazy, on the old ColecoVision years ago, I had a steering wheel and one pedal and a game called Turbo. You know, I mean, yeah, that was amazing. And then back then you had pit stop and you changed the tyres and stuff. But then stuff that always stuck with me, really stuck with me, were games like Jeff Crammond's Formula One Grand Prix. You know, I played a full season in that, you know, ruining a joystick until I had to buy a new one. Wow. And then sort of when Gran Turismo came out, that just blew me away. I mean, that was a game changer. And at the same time as well, you know, Ridge Racer, totally different style of gameplay, but again, just arcade in your home, you know. So there's been so many racing games over the years, and these days it's obviously I play Formula One, you know, I play all of the other stuff that's out there. It's not just racing games, I love all gaming, to be fair.
Yeah, now that's crazy. Now you brought up some classics just now, man. My childhood, like, you making me hype right now. Like, now another thing, and I think this is very important when it comes to just racing games, period. The AI and how smart it is. You want to feel like you're in a battle. And just now, in my impressions, when I was in the racing, when I was in a race in the rain, yo, it was crazy. The battle was so real, and I was like trying to cut them off so they don't pass me. But me doing that, I wound up sacrificing myself and blowing out my tire. So it just made me think differently, like, you know, how I approach a race or anything like that. So what's something about the F1 sport that you could tell the fans right now that when you're playing this game, this is something that you could do? A few tips, if you know, you might add to how you want to race in this game.
Yes, I mean, Formula One, the races are quite a long race if you choose to do them that way. So if somebody is challenging you that heavily, pay attention to what tyres they're on. You know, it may be a case that they're on a different compound to you. So at that point in the race, they may actually have a faster car than you. So it's not always a bad thing that somebody gets past you. Maybe that, you know, 10 laps down the line, the strategy's played play out differently, and you're in the dominant car, you might overtake them much more easily. So pay attention to those sorts of things. And in the game, you can ask your race engineer for things, while you're out on track. So it may be you ask him who you're racing, and it may be the car that you're next to isn't the car you're racing because they're a pit stop behind. So he'll keep you informed on these things. So it's not always that on-track battle that's the important thing. It's the big picture. It's the long game. It's taking into account the tyre wear, the fuel loads. But also the racing's also cool, isn't it? When you've got to get wheel to wheel, get your elbows out. As you saw.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, will there be a arcade mode to this game? And what I mean by that, I'm talking about like a mode where there's no damage, there's no this, there's that. You can just kind of get in and just play the way you want to play without the simulation aspect.
Yeah, I mean, all those options are completely configurable. So if you want to do 100% race, really sensitive damage, penalty system, race starts, formation lap, pit entrance, all of those things, you can turn them all up to the max. But if you just want to go out there and do 3 laps fast, turn on some assists, turn off all of those options, and just enjoy driving, the visceral experience of a Formula One car.
Yeah, will this game be updated, like, either weekly or monthly with the things that happen in the real world of F1? Because I think something like that would be great. Like a lot of the fans that I talk to, whether they love Madden or 2K or whatever, when the NBA starts, the game moves along with the NBA and so on and so forth. Will this have the same update process for F1?
Yeah, so it's important to us to keep the game relevant as long as we can through the year. So what we do is we'll approach the teams, ask them if there's anything they want updating on their cars, and offer that as a service we'll do. So we want the cars to look as right as they do, as correct to the sport. So at 2 points during the year, we're going to do update drops for the game where if the car's liveries change or, physically the model changes in some way, we can update those in the game.
That's crazy. Like, so now when I know you spoke about career mode a lot. You was talking about that a lot. Is there any other game modes in a game that's like just more like general, more fun, more outside of what the career has to offer?
So if you don't want to go through and do all the R&D or play as yourself, for example, you can go and do championship season. Championship season is just playing a career season through without all of the other things to worry about. If you just want a more casual sort of easier experience, or alternatively you did a quick race, so you can just jump into any race or do anything. And if you want to play online, we've got now the ability to save your championships online. So say for example you and 10 of your mates have got a championship going, you can save that championship and it'll keep track of the scores for you. That's new.
I quit. That's it. Interview over. August 19th. Make sure you get F1 2016. How much fun did you have making this one?
Oh, huge amount. And I'm having even more fun now seeing the reaction to it. I mean, it's just, the reward couldn't be any better.
That's crazy. Look, man, I don't know what else to say, man. God bless you, love you, and I thank you for your work. It's your boy HipHopGamer, Hot 97. You already know what it is, man. We got F1 2016 coming August 19th. Make sure you pre-order. Make sure you get it now on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, cool. So no love for the new Nintendo? No love for Nintendo NX?
Nintendo. That's not even been announced formally, has it? It's just
it has. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to see if they know something. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying. All right, look, man, we out of here. One love and God bless, man. If you a gamer, welcome to Gamers. We out. Peace.